Today on the Seller Board Show, we have Valentina from AMZ Scout, and we're going to talk about trends on Amazon. All right, welcome everyone to Seller Board. My name's Christopher, and I'm really excited today because we have an awesome guest, Valentina from AMZ Scout. Welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you? Hello, everyone.
I'm doing well. I'm definitely excited to just learn more about everything that you're going to be talking about today. Why don't you give the listeners a little introduction about who you are and what you're representing today?
Yes, I'm Valentina, the CPO and the co-founder at AMZ Scout. The AMZ Scout started its road in 2016 as a product research tool. Right now, I prefer to think of us as a trendsetter, let's say. We're a company that provides the trend reports and some insights about the e-commerce trends and Amazon trends, first of all. Well, we now have around 500,000 active monthly users. Yes, and I guess we are really popular, especially among the beginners and those who dream about selling on Amazon and quit their job or just start their passive income.
That's great. Yeah. And I think that's a lot of times that's where somebody really gets started is just dreaming about a future and a different way of making money and getting out of the 9-to-5 job, they say. And so I think it's a great thing and to get started with a piece of software like AMZ Scout. So I know that we're talking about all kinds of different things today, but why don't we start with a different source of trends and hot products? So how would you describe the process of finding what's trending on Amazon today?
We have, let's say, big data at our disposal because we track almost all the products on Amazon, the emerging ones that start selling something and all the old ones. So we kind of combine all the data points into the trends or whatever we want to combine and collect. So this way we can find the growing trends in particularly small niches or in big niches or just a growth, for example, in a big category like electronics or whatever. So it's quite easy having a very complicated and sophisticated tool. That's how we do it. And at one point, we realized that having great tools may be a good thing to have for us and for sellers, beginners or experts, but also it's kind of important to have some information at your fingertips without having to analyze a lot of data points, because sometimes you're not sure that you found something great, sometimes you're not sure if it's even a trend, and sometimes people just do not know how to analyze all of the data points that we have because we keep adding stuff. So we've added this thing that's called reports, monthly, weekly reports with trends, niches, products, and something that is going on Amazon. And Amazon represents the whole e-commerce situation in the world, especially the Amazon US. So it's kind of a great deal. And today I'm going to share some trends, and I even want to recommend how to diversify and improve the products in those niches that I'm going to recommend to enter in.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm sure everyone that's listening and watching is going to be really interested in this. And I can attest, I mean, 7 years ago, just going around trying to take small data points in real time and figuring out which niche or what's trending, it was a very manual process and lots of spreadsheets involved. And when you have all these millions of pieces of data aggregated in one place, I think that's that's such a time saver for every Amazon seller. So I'm really looking forward to the presentation. Valentina, can you talk about this booming shopping habit that you guys have discovered recently?
Yes, we have not discovered it very recently. It has been a trend for a while, but it's still growing, and it's still not clear to everyone that it's a big deal. And Amazon is focusing a lot on this thing, and I guess all the sellers as well. So it's called a green consumerism, or eco products, or sustainable products, as you will. And there's a lot of service that were devoted to this thing. And it turned out that 85% of the Amazon sellers are concerned about the plastic weight. And Amazon knows that. And Amazon has, hundreds of FBA fulfillment centers. And they are trying to influence this problem, the ecology, obviously, right? And they even had a pledge to be zero carbon by 2040. And in India, they have eliminated all non-recyclable plastic in packaging. That's already happening. So sellers put a lot of attention on this new trend, let's say, because if you look at the Google Trends, or if you look at our keywords tool that MZ Scout has, and look at the search results, every year the interest in eco-friendly products is growing by 10%, and searches for sustainable products are growing by 8%. So
Wow.
I kind of looked at the ideas. Let me even show this screen.
Great.
Those are the exact ideas that I found. So the products are, for example, wheat straw bowls, eco-friendly sponges, bamboo bottles, silicone bath scrubbers, biodegradable containers for food. And there is much more ideas and products and trends that are becoming more popular. As I promised, and as I said, it's really important to diversify yourself, because, well, I should say that it's much harder. Every year it's harder to find a new and non-competitive niche on Amazon and in e-commerce. But I think there is a lot of spots and niches where you can still diversify. Because if you look at, for example, these balls, that's not new, but very recent trend, you just have to notice the bad reviews and the rating across the niche, and realize that there is a lot of complaints about this product. So for this niche in particular, for example, people complain about the smell, the chemical smell.
Mm-hmm.
Such bowls, may not be really safe, and might not even consist of the the material that is ecologic. So they think that they are plastic. They're made of plastic. So what I recommend is to just improve the quality and probably be the best in the niche. So it's that easy. So a very popular product that is growing in popularity turns out to be bad. And the Amazon is a huge marketplace where people look for products and they can't find something good. So the niche is not empty. There are sellers in there, but no one provides good product. That's a really great opportunity. That's the opportunity of the 2021. And in the previous year, it's not about finding the empty niche anymore, non-competitive niche. I don't think they exist anymore.
Right.
But a lot of niches where all the products are bad quality. They're kind of new to the market. They are not improved yet. They have bad designs, bad colors, maybe bad photos, then not represented well or manufactured well. That's why I recommend put attention to and diversify yourself, become better.
No, that's definitely great advice, because you're already seeing that it's a popular trend, and through just going through the listing, you can see all the different ways to improve the product and make it better with the negative reviews that customers are leaving. And when you're looking at a product listing and you're going through the data, Valentina, what are some of the things that seem to always be an issue? You mentioned photos, you mentioned colors. Is there other things that you see consistently that sellers are making a mistake on when it comes to their product listings that can be improved?
I wouldn't talk about mistakes much. I would talk about the things to improve, if you will.
Okay.
So the first thing is the videos. I think that's a new step for any listing and for every e-commerce business, because well, photos do not represent the product in full, right? Maybe some static objects like a vase or a lamp, whatever, right, can be represented on a photo. Like, this is the shadow, this is how, this is its color, this is how it looks like. But a lot of stuff looks better on the videos. Amazon made it really different before 2020, because this feature was only available for those who have enhanced brand content thing.
Right.
And I think in 2020, I think in September or something, Amazon said that this feature is now available for brand owners, so they can use it in any listing. You still have to have a brand. You have to brand
registry, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
Oh, that's why I recommend to do it.
That's a great piece of advice, because as you said before, it was only available to certain sellers, and I think before that it was only available to vendors that had higher end account managers and whatnot. So now it's available to anyone that's brand registered. And as we see in all these other mediums, video is really what the consumer wants, because they can get a 360 of the product and they can feel a lot more comfortable with what they're buying. So that's a great piece of advice. And I don't think that's obvious, especially to sellers that have been on the platform for a very long time. They might have missed the fact that that's been unleashed. So great piece of advice.
What I also would recommend is using this new opportunity. Is, again, it's not really new, but it's something that sellers are missing on. It's the influencers. Those people, can recommend your product on YouTube, Instagram, or anywhere. And I know a lot of stories when the products were just booming, the sales were booming after some influencer, some blogger announced that they use the product, that it looks, it feels good, and so on. And I even think that you can just talk to the influencer who is probably a known person or half-known person, at least he looks good, and take the video and put it on your Amazon listing. Probably it will work even better. And there's one more thing that some sellers probably may forget. The mobile part, the mobile shopping is growing. So I think it used to be like 70%. Now it's even more of sales go through the mobile devices.
Wow.
So yes, sometimes people who work at the desktop and use some programs, browsers, set up their listings on the desktop, may forget that a lot of people will buy their products on the mobile device. So if you're a seller, you need to think how your product, your photos, your video will look like on not a small, but still a mobile. That's a really important thing to think of when you're uploading the pictures.
Yeah, that's a great reminder, because traditionally, it was always the same, because people the same results would come up, and whether it's a desktop or whether it was a mobile or a tablet. And we've seen over the years that it's changed a lot, and the people are using their cell phones, but then your listing looks different a lot of times on a mobile device versus a desktop. And so when you're making those changes as a seller and as a business, if you're not optimized on mobile, now that you're saying that the majority of the traffic's going through, then you could be losing out on a lot of conversion. So that's a great reminder. That's wonderful, because if it's optimized for desktop, not optimized for mobile, and your conversions start going down, then that could be a leading indicator. So great, excellent, thank you. So let's talk about some new online customer segments that you're seeing, Valentina.
Yes, we found out that there is a new generation that's called a Generation Z. Obviously, we knew that these type of people who were born between 1995 to 2005, those teens, and not only teens, people who are 25, 20, 25, 10, 15 years, this group of people increasingly joining the online shopping. And there is 78 million of them in the US. And if you think about that, they they should spend a lot, correct? So when I thought about that, I put the words for teens in our keyword explorer, keyword search instrument on AMZ Scout, and found a little trends that came up. And I found room decorations, teen girl clothes, vitamins for teens, makeup for teens, and some others. Let me show a little bit more.
This is great. Oh my goodness. I never would have expected that so many teenagers were on Amazon directly. So I'm learning something right now.
Yeah, so I put the words for teens in the Amazon keyword search at AMZ Scout once again, and I found some ideas. So there's more of them, and they are prioritized by the search volume, monthly search volume, which means that 48,000 people have looked for coloring books for teens in February. And there's even a history of these search results. If you click on the graph, you will see that the trend is this keyword is growing in the popularity or not. And those are the ideas, like desk chair for teens, stickers for teens, sunglasses for teens, and so on.
Wow. Yeah, I never would have thought that would be included in a search by a consumer on Amazon.
Yes, there is also a product database by AMZ Scout, and by putting the words for teens or room decorations for teens, you will find a lot of products that are relevant. And for example, that's how I've also found a makeup set for teens, which is a booming niche and has been for a while. Acne patch for teens, hair chalk pens for teens, to color your hair. And some other stuff. And it can easily be found with the keyword search or the product database.
Great. Yeah, just finding those product categories and then having like a niche within a niche is kind of key to differentiating yourself now. So that's awesome. Thanks for the visual too, for those who are watching Sellerboard Show today. So where and when do you recommend sellers to actually sell their products?
I recommend to start selling on Amazon. But if you're stuck with the ways you can sell your products on Amazon, you should diversify and try omni-channel thing. because Shopify is also growing, and there are some places like eBay, Walmart. I think everyone knows about them, and probably some local marketplaces, your own website, and so on. Just follow the Amazon trends, because that's a trend setter. As for the when, I should say that a lot of sellers find the opportunity to sell a little bit more during a lot of holidays that the year has. This is why in December in 2020, we have prepared a big calendar of events and holidays. Let me just show it real quick.
Okay, great.
So here we go. We recommend to probably tweak your listing a little bit if the products are relevant, and are good things to present before these holidays. So just use the calendar, and we also recommend to prepare for some stuff. For example, for the Q4 or
Prime Day,
the Prime Day. Yeah, the Prime Day.
Yeah, those can definitely be big days for Amazon sellers, and it's also worth mentioning that the advertising spends can go crazy, and you really want to be locked in to what your goals are for that day, and not just let everything ride like normal, because it can definitely fluctuate quite a bit for the positive or for the negative if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, you should be really attentive. But still, there are great opportunities. And I know sellers who, just only focus on holidays and have only, gifts at their disposals, and only, become active before the holidays and during them. That's not the best strategy for everyone.
Okay, so Valentina, how should a seller decide whether to start as a retail arbitrage seller, online arbitrage seller, or a private label or brand owner? What type of considerations do you think some of our newer listeners should make?
I think even if you have a lot of money, if you don't have experience in that area, you should always start with something easier and less risky, which is the arbitrage or wholesale, any kind of arbitrage. Because when you don't know the market, the competition, how everything is done, it's really hard to fail with your first private label product, especially if you buy a lot of a big batch, a lot of products, a lot of items, for example, in a Chinese factory, and you try to sell the product, but if it doesn't work, that's it. You just only have one chance. With the other selling methods like arbitrage, you have a lot of chances. You have a lot of takes. If something does not work, you just lose a few $100. So that's what I recommend.
That's good advice. So people can get their feet wet in the Amazon ecosystem before they spend a good bit of money, and learn that way. You might as well learn on a smaller budget than on a big budget when you're first getting started. So let's say the seller got through that first 6 months of doing online arbitrage or retail arbitrage. They fell down on their face a few times, but now they feel confident. They're starting to become profitable, and they realize to really scale, they do want to start their own brand, and they want to start their own business with their own products and their own manufacturer. What type of niches in 2021, with all the data at your disposal, do you think are just great for Amazon sellers to be getting in right now?
What I would say again, that we always follow the growing and falling trends in terms of full categories, main categories on Amazon. So you can always open our monthly trend report and look at the categories they're growing. It's usually home and household that that area, that category has continuously grown in 2020. It's always electronics and sports. But again, what I would recommend is even if you're a little bit experienced in the arbitrage area and you know what products may work better than the others, private label is always a new thing for you, even if you're an experienced, arbitrage sellers. So what I would do with my $1,000, $10,000, whatever, I would diversify. I would try a lot of products. I would try a range of products. Probably they will be completely different, like from the sports category, electronics and stuff from home, or I would focus on the electronics, for example, and even on some particular niche like headphones, let's say. But I would still try different products, like bigger headphones.
Right.
Yes, different probably colors. I would not put all my money into something, in particular.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So it's basically it's not like an easy answer. It's kind of back to what we were talking about earlier. It's improving on the things that are already selling well, the things that already have an audience. And it's the same kind of evergreen advice. It's like improve the products that people want and try to ride those trends and then expand your catalog to complementary products that are around your hero ASIN, if you will. So that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Good advice. Good advice. There's never just an easy answer. You don't want to just say spatula because millions of sellers have already tried that. So what else? Is there anything else that you wanted to end with today? Anything else that you wanted to talk about to the people listening?
Yes, I would leave a link with the offer for sellerboard from AMZ Scout. So the offer includes a 3 months of the AMZ Scout toolset, our renowned Pro extension product database that I was talking about when I was looking for teens products and eco products, the product tracker, ASIN lookup, tool, keyword tracker, and a lot of other things like seller scores and those monthly trend reports I was talking about today. And also the exclusive gifts that are included for free, a guide of how to get reviews, all the ways, the USA private label suppliers website list for those who are interested in the local suppliers and even the US, and the checklist of questions you need to ask your supplier to realize if you want to work with this supplier or not, and even a tricky way of checking your supplier if they are trustworthy. And all of this is at a discount, and it will just cost $139 per 3 months package.
Wow, that's a lot of value. And I think that's a great resource for people that are getting started or people that might just need some new things to boost their business. So we learned a lot today, and I really appreciate your time, Valentina. Thank you so much for joining us on the Seller Board Show, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you too. I wish everyone good luck and a lot of sales. Bye-bye.
I like that. All right, bye-bye. Just want to give a big thanks to Valentina from AMZ Scout, and really appreciate her coming on the show today. Hopefully you guys got some value out of what we were talking about. And I also always want to remind you about our software, Sellerboard. Sellerboard is a software and mobile application with profit analytics, inventory management, advertising optimization, listing change alerts, scheduled customer messaging, request and review automation, and money back made easy for your Amazon-based businesses. We have plans to start only $15 a month. So we always say that Sellerboard is genuinely the most affordably effective tool for Amazon sellers of all sizes. Sign up for 2 free months with no credit card required. I love that. At sellerboard.com and join the thousands of satisfied Sellerboard customers. Until next time, thanks again for joining us.